East African nations pump millions of barrels of crude oil out of their own soil, load it onto ships, and send it across the ocean. Months later, they buy that exact same energy back in the form of refined, highly expensive fuel. Look at this map of the Indian Ocean. Thin lines represent raw crude leaving East African ports. Contrast that with heavy, dominant vectors returning from the Middle East, representing that roughly 75. In April 2026, heads of state gathered in Nairobi for the Africa We Build Summit to confront this specific problem. There, Aliko Dangote made a rare public pledge. His group offered to help East African nations construct a new 650,000 barrel per day mega refinery in Tanga, Tanzania. Dangote brings the credibility of having already executed one of the most complex private refineries in African history in Lagos, shifting the proposal from a theoretical study to a concrete industrial commitment. His proposal moves the needle on how large-scale infrastructure gets built on the continent, relying on domestic private industrial capital rather than foreign multilateral loans. With capital formation already in motion, finding the money is no longer the primary hurdle. The test is whether regional governments can match private financial ambition with political execution. The geographic center of this proposal is Tanga, located on Tanzania's northeastern coast. This map outlines the project's feedstock architecture, showing why this specific site is uniquely positioned. Unlike a standard national asset, this refinery is designed to process crude sourced from multiple different countries. Supplies would be drawn from across the region, with raw material flowing in from the Democratic Republic of Congo and South Sudan. Uganda and Kenya connect into this web as well. The East African Crude Oil Pipeline, or EACOP, terminates at the Tanga site, providing a direct channel from Uganda's oil fields. Once refined, the finished fuel moves up the coast via pipeline to the Kenyan port of Mombasa, plugging directly into existing networks. By pulling raw materials from multiple origins and distributing finished products across borders, this facility operates as a fully integrated regional infrastructure system. If structured correctly, the Tanga site sits at the exact intersection of every meaningful regional crude development over the next decade. But African infrastructure history is filled with massive proposals that dissolved upon contact with bureaucratic delays or intergovernmental disagreements. A $20 billion investment requires absolute political stability. Dangote explicitly stated that the project depends on serious, long-term support from regional leaders, specifically naming Kenya's president, William Ruto. That alignment means securing cross-border coordination on tax treatments and long-term offtake agreements, which requires the total backing of Uganda's president, Yoweri Museveni. While the technical complexity of such a build is immense, the primary bottleneck today is the ability of these specific administrations to set aside shifting political cycles and create a single binding implementation authority. To see the long-term stakes, look at the African continent. Building the Tanga refinery secures a crucial eastern node. Combined with the expanding Lagos refinery and deep-water mineral ports in the south, these regions connect to form a unified industrial spine. This network proves that continent-scale infrastructure can be built and financed by African private capital, like Dangote's planned Pan-African IPOs, without defaulting to foreign multilateral debt. The window for this specific alignment is closing. Between the immediate pressure of international supply shocks and Dangote's upcoming IPO timeline for mid-2026, regional governments have roughly 6 months to move past declarations and sign binding term sheets. It is rare to see private capital and sovereign interests align this clearly, but if leadership fails to act quickly, the true cost of their delay will be paid by everyday citizens, priced directly into every liter of imported fuel.